Hey everybody, Trucker John here. So I'm currently in Valencia, California. Got Six Flags Magic Mountain to my left, and to the right is this truck scale, which I am being bypassed. My pre-pass that I don't have to stop, so I'm gonna keep on going. But I wanted to show you today what it's like going over the Grapevine, going I-5 north. Pretty much fully loaded with the truck. So that's what we're doing today. This could be a somewhat quick and straightforward video. Just going to show you climbing up this hill in parts, and then I'm going to show you in the entirety going down the hill. So that's what this video is going to be about. So I just left Carson, California, which is near like South Central Compton, Los Angeles area. And I am heading to Sumner, Washington, which is about 1,200 miles, all the way up to I-5, all the way up. This particular section is called the Grapevine. I am currently on my steer tires, which is the very front of the truck, the two front tires that steer the truck. Just that section of my truck weighs 10,500 pounds. Moving back towards my fuel tanks and drive axles, so the two axles behind the cab where the trailer sits on top of, that is currently at 32,999 pounds. And we cannot go over 34,000 pounds, so I'm good. And then moving past that towards the middle of the trailer and into the rear trailer tires, or the tandems, I am at 31,640 pounds, which again, over there we cannot be more than 34,000 pounds, so we are good. My overall weight for the entire vehicle, that's the vehicle, the tractor, the trailer, and everything inside the trailer, I am 75,130 pounds. So yeah, I can still go a little over 4,000 pounds before I completely maxed out my weight. So, but nonetheless, we're still pretty heavy. You can definitely feel it. Yeah, if you know anything about driving trucks, if you've done it before, when you're deadheading, which means you have nothing in the trailer, you're empty, versus when you're fully loaded like I am now, you can totally feel the difference in the performance of the tractor. Kind of a weird question for you guys, for all those old school truckers out there. Why do they call it a tractor? I was kind of curious. You know, when you think tractor, you think of a farm vehicle. Is that where it came from? Is it something to do with that history? So comment down below. Let me know what does tractor mean, or if anybody else knows. I mean, I know the answer. I just want to start a conversation. So anyways, we're approaching the hill. So I will catch up the video there. And then, like I said, once we go down the hill, which is one of the larger grades in the country that you can go down, which is why I want to record it. So if you notice on the left, the opposite side of the freeway, it connects to this bridge that we're about to go under. And then if you look to the right, that's coming down the hill, coming south on I-5, coming down the Grapevine, coming towards me. So for quite a ways, it's almost gonna be like we're in Europe or in Hong Kong, however you want to look at it, where you drive on the opposite side. So to the right, they're driving the wrong way, and we're on the left driving the wrong way. And it's like this for quite a few miles. We'll go through an underpass or an overpass, and then we'll be on the right side of the road again. So if you can see over there to the right, I'm not sure if you can see it. I can't see the camera, but you can see to the right, you can see all the trucks and all the cars coming down the hill. And we're on the left side going up. So right now I'm doing 56 miles per hour. Speed limit is 55. I'm trying to speed up a little actually, because right in front of me is where the main incline begins. Okay, I'm at 58. And I'm going to stay at 58.
You are exceeding the posted speed limit.
And now we start to slow down significantly because we are hitting this incline. So this is where basically the entire hill begins. And already I'm drastically slowing down. So my rule of thumb is when I get to about 42 miles per hour going up a hill, where the speed limit is much higher for other vehicles, like right now it's 70, 65, 70. Or no, I'm sorry, going over the Grapevine is 65 for regular cars. Speed limit is 55 for trucks. Once I get down to about 42, which is about right now, I activate my hazards. Just to let everyone know, coming up behind me at a high speed, that I am a slow-moving vehicle. Because some of these large vehicles are kind of deceiving, about how fast they're really going. See, according to my radar, this guy in front of me is going 25 miles per hour, so I'm going to try and pass him. We'll let this other truck pass me first. Trying to share the road there, buddy. So that's what I was saying is, some of these vehicles, they don't look like they're going that fast when we're going high speeds, which we are. I had the same issue when I was driving the bus. Some people just don't realize how fast these large vehicles are moving. They just don't look like they're moving fast, but they are. We're going anywhere from 60 to 70 miles per hour. Some of these other trucks go even faster, like 80. So it's kind of hard to tell sometimes how fast they're going, especially when you're in a small car. So coming up behind the vehicles, the same thing. You don't realize they're probably going 20 miles per hour and you're going 70, 80, or probably even 90. Some of these guys out here drive a lot faster. And so we got to put our hazards on so they can see us, make sure they know we're going slow. All right, so I'm currently going 27 miles per hour. I am at 1700 RPM. 25 miles per hour. So I'm pretty heavy, 75,000. So I'm probably going to go a little slower actually. This is a steady incline. It's going to get a little steeper. So I may actually I usually get down to maybe 18 to 20 miles per hour by the time I get to the top of the hill. That's one of the benefits for having radar on the truck, so you know how fast vehicles are going. So that way you can kind of judge if you have the opportunity to pass them or not. Like that truck that was going 25 miles per hour in front of me a moment ago. Well, I had a truck coming up on my left and I didn't want to get in front of him and slow him down. That'd be kind of rude. Because once you have to slow down in one of these trucks, it's really hard to gain momentum again going up a hill. It's basically impossible. Once you slow down to a speed, that's as fast as you're going to go. So the good thing about that radar is, I can see if I'm able to pass them and how much time do I have. Do I need to slow down? Things like that. It kind of helps. I mean, obviously you can gauge it by looking, but it's also nice to have that extra tool. And right here on the right, you see the sign that says radiator water, half a mile. It's for all the vehicles that start to overheat. You can pull over and so we're already at 2,000 feet elevation. So yeah, if you start to overheat, there's a little station up here. You can pull over and put water in your radiator. I'm in a newer vehicle, so really that's not an issue. My vehicle's well maintained, or even older vehicles, if they're well maintained, that's not an issue. Some of the older vehicles, I don't know if you'll see us, sometimes they have these signs, I'm not sure if they still have them. There used to be signs on these large inclines that said, don't use your air conditioner. Because some of the older vehicles, you use your air conditioner, that will overheat the engine. But a lot of these newer vehicles, you don't have to worry about that. Currently going 28 miles per hour. So you can see some of these vehicles passing me on the left. Well, they're probably not as heavy as me. They could be completely empty, they're deadheading, or they just have a light load, or they just started with some great momentum and didn't have to slow down. Or the truck's not governed. My truck's governed, so even though I floored it and got it up to 62, once it hit that incline, it'd be just a slow and steady slow down for me. There's not much I can do. Pyramid Lake in 14 miles. It's always a beautiful view when you pass over this area. I've actually stopped before when I used to drive bus. I stopped at the little rest area welcome center, and it's actually, you get a nice view over there if you ever get a chance. I'm not sure if trucks are allowed to pull in there. I've never tried. There's no sign saying no trucks, so I guess you can. Yeah, beautiful day here in Southern California. It's currently 81 degrees. I'm now up to 32 miles per hour towards the top of the steep part of the hill here, so I'm gonna start gaining some speed. But it'll be variable. I mean, we'll get some steep inclines where I'll slow down, and we'll have some, descents where I'll speed up. So that's where it's really tricky, and you really got to be careful when you're on the decline, when you're as heavy as I am or heavier. I mean, I'm pretty much as heavy as you to get 75,000 pounds. I mean, that's only about 4,000 pounds off from the maximum you're even allowed to be. 47, so I can turn off my blinkers, my hazards. Yeah, so, once we get to the top of the hill and start to come down, I'll kind of walk you through what I'm doing. Velox? No. Velox, he's got a black Peterbilt, brand new one, looks really nice. He's actually out on the road today. Kind of hoping I'd see him, but he said he's going to be on the 99, I'm going to be on the 5, so most likely I won't see him. If you guys haven't seen Velox 18, go check out his channel. We have just begun our, I'm going to call it a variable descent. We're going to have some downhills, descents like this one right here, where we really need to watch our speed because it is kind of steep. And we're going to have other sections where we are going to have an incline, just goes up and down, up and down. But the main descent towards the end of the Grapevine is the one I really want to show you guys, because speed limit's like 35 miles per hour only for trucks. It's really steep and I'm really heavy, so we're going to check that out. So I have my Jake brake on number 2 out of 3. I'm going 52 miles per hour, 1,800 RPMs. Yeah, you can kind of see it on the right, but the main Pyramid Lake is to our left. It's a huge lake. I doubt you can see it on the camera. The Welcome Center is also over to the left, out of sight. Beautiful area if you get a chance. Looks like it's exit 191 via Del Lago Road. I'm not sure what it is coming back the other way. Beautiful view. Man, I like these new Corvettes. Look at this one passing me on my left. These new Corvettes are nice, man. They almost look like a McLaren. very exotic looking. I'm glad they went with that style because, you know, some of the you know, later model Corvettes, I mean, they were still nice, but I don't know, for as much as they cost and all that, I don't know how you can justify really buying one. But these new ones, man, I don't know. They've done a really good job with the new design. I really like them. All right, we're passing Smoky Bear Road. We're about halfway through the Grapevine. We're gonna come down this large descent here before the main descent. So there's gonna be like I said, this large descent we're about to go down here in a moment. I'm not gonna record the whole thing, but it's right before a rest area. So if you guys don't know, whether you're trucking through here or driving in your personal vehicles, when you're coming down, when you're going northbound and going down this descent towards the rest stop, right past the Smoky Bear Road, make sure you're doing the speed limit, or at least somewhere within it, because almost 95% of the time I come through that area, there's several CHP officers sitting at that bottom of the hill with their radar guns. And you always see somebody pulled over on the side of the road at the bottom of the hill there. So this is definitely a speed trap through this area, so you might want to be careful. So you see these dry hills all around me. So for those of you that are not from California and you hear about all the big wildfires that we have, well, this is one of the areas that we get them. As you can see, very large acreage, large area. It's not overgrown, you know, there's not weeds everywhere or nothing. You can kind of tell in this little valley to the right, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, this little gorge right here on the right, all those little burnt out trees. Yeah, that's about all. The rest of it's just all grass, brush. You can kind of see where the fire was here. And now it's already green. You can see the green coming up over the fire, all the burnt area. But look at the hills all around us. This is all that caught on fire. And yeah, I mean, there's not much you really can do. Just let it burn, I guess. You know, it just sucks for the people that live out here. Then of course the air quality sucks. And it's one of many fires that happens every year. This is just one area. You know, of course, you have a bunch of areas up in Northern California and down in, you know, further down south. It's happening all over the place. Of course, it doesn't help when it gets to be well over 105 degrees in this area. Super dry. You need to get someone to throw a cigarette butt out, or, you know, just even a piece of glass can reflect the sun. And, you know, like a broken bottle, for example, that's on the ground can reflect the sun onto the grass. And it's so dry that can actually catch it on fire. Now, it does snow in this area pretty bad, actually, to where they had to shut down the roads. And I've heard they're actually going to build a tunnel under this area just to bypass the snow issues. So if you guys know anything about that, let me know. I just heard about it the other day. Don't know much about it. It'd be kind of interesting. It'd be a lot of construction for sure. All right, so this guy in front of me is going 40 miles per hour. I'm going 47, so I think I'm able to pass him. There's no vehicles coming up on my left. Currently going 45 miles per hour, 1,300 RPMs. And I am starting to slow down. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to pass this truck or not. There's no one behind me, so I think I'm just gonna stay right here. We are now at 4,000 feet elevation. I've just slowed down to 40 miles per hour, 1,100 RPM. This is going to be one of those half a mile per hour races, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and slow down and get behind him. So no point anyone coming up fast behind me and hitting me. Exit 205, Fraser Park. So once you pass this exit going northbound I-5, that's where you really want to watch your speed. Because at the bottom of this decline here, near the rest stop, there's always some CHP hanging out with their radar guns. Rest area, 2/3 mile. All right, we are now approaching our very first warning for the main event. 5 miles of 6% downgrade. Trucks use low gears, 35 mile per hour speed limit. So there's two ways we could do this. This is where we want to begin while we're still on a flat surface. We don't want to do anything while we're in the decline. We want to do it before. So this is where we're going to start. See the yellow sign on the right, it says hill. So we are now going to begin our descent. So there's two things we could do. One, we can select our gear, turn on our Jake brake and just let it ride, okay? Or our second choice is to set our cruise control to a low enough gear that the truck will stay slow, which is what I do. That's what I prefer to do because it's easier. It's active cruise control, so if I do approach a truck going slower than me or a vehicle going slower than me, then my speed can automatically adjust and there's less functionality I have to do. All right, so my main goal in doing this is to never touch my brakes, okay? Air brakes they overheat very, very easy, and when they overheat, they can actually fail. And the last thing you want is to have no brakes at 75,000 pounds, or really any weight, going down a hill, a very steep hill like where we're at right now. It's very, deadly, very deadly. Don't want to do it. All right, so speed limit is 35. I'm currently doing 32 miles per hour at, let's see here. Yeah, 32 miles per hour. I have my cruise control set to 27 miles per hour. So even though I'm set for 27 miles per hour, my truck is still going over that speed because of the weight and also the fluctuation of the cruise control. And I am at about between 1900 and 2000 RPMs. So that's why the Jake brake is really working hard to keep me right where I want to be. I'm steady, right at 32 miles per hour. I'm not touching the brake. I'm not touching the accelerator. I'm just cruising along like it's nothing. And I'm letting the engine hold my weight. Letting that Jake brake keep me at this speed so I don't use my brakes at all. Right now my brakes are 100% cold. They're not hot at all. So if I need to use them for whatever reason, they'll work. Now almost every time I come down a hill like this, whether it's this one or Cabbage or the Twin Sisters coming into Utah, there's always going to be a truck. So let's watch out for them. We'll see who it's going to be today. It's going to be a truck. It's going to pass me on the left going well over the speed limit. And by the time we catch up to him at the end of the mountain, his brakes will be smoking and he'll be pulled to the side of the road. So we'll see if that happens again today. So I'm still cruising at 32 miles per hour. By the way, look at this view. Isn't that pretty? What a beautiful view. I'm going slow enough that you can actually enjoy it. Even though it's a bit bumpy. So this is the steepest part of the hill right here. This is pretty much straight up 6%, if not more. Is it more or less that it goes steeper? Anyways, I'm still holding at 32 miles per hour, 2,000 RPMs. So if you can see that sign there on the left, it says runaway truck ramp. It's a left exit in about 1.5 miles. So there's actually a YouTube video out there of a truck, because they have security cameras at the at those runaway truck ramps. And there's actually a YouTube video of a truck that had to use it, and it's actually a pretty scary video. It'll be that one coming up here on the left. You hit it pretty hard. The way the runaway truck ramps work is, obviously if my brakes have failed, I have a runaway truck, obviously I cannot slow down. I'm probably going well over 70 miles per hour, if not faster. So by the time I hit the runaway truck ramp, there's usually a gradual incline with very soft sand or gravel or dirt of some kind. And basically it's gonna bury my truck all the way down to the axles and abruptly stop as if you slammed on the brakes. I've seen some video of it just, you know, the truck staying straight. I've seen some videos of the truck jackknifing and flipping and crashing. I think it just depends on how hard, how fast, and at what angle you hit the ramp. I would say if I were in that situation and had to hit it, you know, you want to be as straight as possible, because my truck is only, what, 10,500 in the front, and it's going to be less than the 32,000 in the back, because that's not including the trailer weight. So it's the lightest part of my entire vehicle. It's the trailer and everything in the trailer that's the heaviest part. So that's going to push into my truck, which, you know, could definitely have some fatal consequences, especially if you're the one sleeping in the back. So I'm still at 2,000 RPM, 32 miles per hour. It's 72 degrees outside. Beautiful. You can see the valley there in the distance. So here's one of the ramps right here on the right. See how there's an incline? All that gravel right there. You can see, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really deep, and yeah, you're not going to make it all the way to the incline even if you're going real fast. I think your truck would just disintegrate by the time you got to it. Well, there's no super truckers. I mean, there's a few passing me, but I'm surprised I haven't seen any super truckers pass me yet, going like 60 miles an hour. Maybe there is a CHP officer around that I didn't notice. They usually keep everybody going slow. So this one here to the left, that's the one that was on YouTube of the truck crashing, the runaway truck ramp. That's a big load. Look at that, my goodness. Almost there, guys. Appreciate you sticking around this long. If you stuck around this long for the video, it's definitely going to be one of my longer videos. We're about 30 minutes in, and we stuck out a good 10 minutes to get to the bottom of this hill. So it sounds like my engine got louder, but I'm still only at 32 miles per hour, 2,000 RPM. I think those are just the fans that are kicking on to keep the engine cool. So even though I'm in an automatic, I can still change the gears. just kind of like the paddle shifters on a sports car, or on a car that thinks it's a sports car. That's what I have it here on the truck as well. I have a little paddle shifter, and I could actually switch the gears if I wanted to. So right now I'm in 7th gear. If I wanted to go up a gear to go faster, I could. But I'm holding steady right where I want to be this whole time. I have not touched the brake once. I have not accelerated once. It's right where I need to be. Don't need to do nothing. Right now I'm truly just a steering wheel holder, trying to be like my buddy Eric. I'm really surprised I haven't seen any super truckers pass me yet. We're almost at the bottom. With the one time I record, it's not going to happen. Alright, so we're starting to get to the bottom here, so I'm just going to switch the gear just so you can see if there's any difference in the sound. So I'm in 7th gear, and I just hit my paddle shifter to 8th gear. So you can kind of hear the difference in the engine. And that bumped me down to 1600 RPM, and I went up to about 36 miles per hour. It was almost instantaneously when that happened. So that's really important to watch your gears. And there we go.
In 5 miles,
that sign right on the right says truck, end of the truck, 35 mile per hour
San Francisco.
speed limit. So now we're going to increase to our truck maximum speed for California, which is 55 in quotation marks. I did the whole, quotation with my fingers. 55 miles per hour is our speed limit. The navigation still thinks it's 35 though, so she's gonna yell at me.
You are exceeding the posted speed limit.
So that was the Grapevine, guys. That's how you do it. Even when I was driving the bus, I did it the same way, very same concept. Except when you're driving the bus, you got 60 people behind you staring at the back of your head. I don't think the dead pigs and the trailer care how fast I go or anything. Alright guys, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video.
You are exceeding the posted speed limit.
I hope the sound turned out alright so you can hear the jake brake and all that.
You are exceeding the posted speed limit.
Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. That's going to do it for this episode. Now we'll see you down the road.
You are exceeding the posted speed limit.
Oh, shut up.